everyone, and welcome to Upper St. Clair Panther Baseball. It's a wonderful afternoon here at Boyce Bayview Field as the Panthers host the Peters Township baseball team. Their varsity club coming in here looking pretty good. I'm Keith James. Along with me is Dan Rapishak. And Dan, we have another nice day. 65 degrees at game time. There's a threat of rain, but it's hours away from now. We should have no problems getting in another fine baseball game against another tough opponent coming in here to Boyce Bayview Field.
Absolutely. On our last broadcast, we broadcast the Bethel Park game, a very exciting game. Came right down to the last inning, and I'm very excited about today's game. We have a nice crowd, nice day for baseball.
And it'll be another outing for Tim Leckenby, the left-hander for Upper St. Clair, the senior who pitched in that Bethel Park game and started, as we noted on that contest. Tim didn't have his best stuff, but man, did he ever battle. He looks to just fight and fight and fight. There's no give up in him.
Tim is indeed a fighter. He gave us 5 awesome innings. You could tell he was starting to get a little tired, and I'll tell you what, if we can get 5 innings out of him today, that would be fantastic.
Well, it'll be particularly notable because the Peters Township team is coming into this contest with some strong offense going their way. They're 7-2 overall. They've only had 2 losses, and one of them a 1-0 squeaker against Mount Lebanon. So we're ready now for the first pitch. Brett DeCello, their catcher, will lead off for Peters Township, as we'll set the infield and the defense for the Panthers here in just a moment. Here's that first offering, and Tim's first pitch is outside for ball number 1. Again, a little bit of a threat of rain, overcast skies, but it is very, very pleasant here today. Hardly any breeze, just a very light breeze going right to left. Tim comes in on the plate and manages to catch a corner there. It looks out, and I'm just missing. I'm sorry, it is 2-0. Again, we're just getting underway. Peters Township's catcher, Brett DeCello, at the plate. And there's a pitch on the outside corner. Tim working a little stuff outside.
Absolutely. A little shake and bake there, dropped right in there into the strike zone.
Trying to get those guys to go to the opposite field. He's got a lot of confidence in his right fielder, Ben Haas. And DeCello fouls that one off, and it is quickly 2-2.
And I'll tell you what, this weather, a little bit overcast, it is a perfect day for a batter because you don't have that sunny glare, having to deal with that, and you can pick up the pitch.
And we'll find out what DeCello does with this 2-2 count. Leckenby now astride the mound. Here's his delivery, and that misses high, helmet high, for a full count right off the bat. On deck, Phil Pisarcik and Matt Lothar for Peters Township. That'll be the 1-2-3, top of the order to start the contest for Peters Township. All right, again, it's 3-2. Here's Leckenby's delivery. Swung on and a miss.
Great pitch.
Got him with a nice pitch, Dan.
That was I'll tell you what, that was a nice fastball. He chased it. It was in the glove before he even got around.
And
great
Brett
pitch.
DeCello goes down with a strikeout. And Tim had a fair number of those against Bethel Park. They were scattered but effective. Phil Pisarcik now. And Pisarcik is their second baseman. He looks at a ball away, missing that high outside corner. And Dan, if you will, as we look at Leckenby with a 1-0 count, when you get a second here, if you will just quickly set the Panthers defense after this pitch. Here's that delivery.
Okay, in the outfield we have the same setup. We got Anthony Pizzone in left, and Adam Kraske in center, and Ben Haas in right. We have a little bit of a change-up in the infield. We got Joel Klein starting at third, Eric Krolzik at short, and Gannon Rooney at second, and Joe Repishak at first.
And, of course, behind the plate, Ian Frazier, as he takes that ball from Leckenby outside, makes it a 2-1 count to Pisarcik. Phil Pisarcik, one of the leaders on this team, as they have put together a nice 7-2 record. He fouls that one off to the right and out of play. Umpires behind the plate, Will Corso, and out along the lines, looks like we have Chris McSwiggan, as they look at a 2-2 count now. Tim's confidence built a lot with that the strength of his outing he had against Bethel Park. This one comes right down and just misses the bottom of the zone. And another full count. Matt Lothar on deck. Infield straightaway. Joel Klein at third, in just a little bit for the Panthers. Here's the 3-2 delivery, and that just misses outside, and that'll be a walk.
I'll tell you what, he really reached down. He tried to drop that fastball strike on the corner. It just didn't happen.
All right, so now Tim will go to the stretch as the first base runner of the afternoon reaches over to first, and Pisarcik, Matt Lothar, the right fielder, is at the plate. Now we'll see if Joe Repechak is going to hold him and if Tim throws over. As we know, Pisarcik has some wheels. Out of the stretch. The look and the delivery, just missing with a breaking pitch inside. Maybe a little bit too much break, Dan.
You bet. It was coming a little bit high, and you could see it as across the plate. It just dropped outside of the strike zone.
You know, we got another nice matchup here with another good neighboring rival. Here's that 1-0 pitch, and it just comes out of the glove of Ian Frazier, and Pisarcik will go down. That'll be a stolen base for him because the intention was to make a throw, and that puts a man at second base.
I'll tell you what, Ian Frazier, he got up so fast. He just got ahead of the throw, and it just popped right out of his hand.
Yeah, and he would have had a good throw. Pisarcik had a jump. There's a nice pitch from Leckenby. That one comes right in on the zone, and it's 2-1. But Pisarcik had a nice jump, but Ian Frazier was all ready to fire, and then he just couldn't grab the handle on it, popping up so quickly. All right, the runner at second leading off. Here's the swing and the miss on that outside pitch. He had him fishing, Dan.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, the umpire is giving him that pitch, and he ought to take full advantage of it.
2-2 the count now. If you're just tuning in, it is the top of the first here. Peters Township with their third batter at the plate. A strikeout and a walk. That ball up and away. Oh, he almost wanted to go for it, didn't he?
I'll tell you what, that showed very good control by the Peters Township batter.
Well, for a left-hander, Tim really likes to come outside a lot as opposed to coming in on batters so much. He really likes to try and get them fishing, it seems. All right, here's the full count. Little bloop going to go right into right field. That'll bring Pisarcik around from second base. He's going to score easily without a play. Repechak on the cutoff from Ben Haas. And there's the first run of the ball game and an RBI for Matt Lothar with a nice little base hit.
I'll tell you what, Matt, he just sat back and he just took the pitch where it was pitched right into the right field.
Well, he nets himself a nifty little RBI to start this game, and this is about what we expected out of Peters Township. They're going to continue to work counts and try and get the ball to drop in whenever they can and just scratch out some runs. Chris Wachek right now is their pitcher, number 24.
I tell you, Keith, it does not surprise me. Peters Township has always been a very good hitting team. Most of them are students of the Bianco School of Baseball.
You know, that and a credit to their management staff. I mean, their manager, Joe Mays, they've got a good coach who's been with them for years, Rudy Percorning. And also their pitching coach, Jack Caracas, has also been around for many years. They've got a real solid program that has been in place for a long time. Here's the pitch to Wachek now. The steal, the throw down from Frazier, and it's just a little bit wide. Krolzik on the cover, and that's a stolen base for Matt Lothar. Another man in scoring position, and that's a 1-1 count.
That was a tough pitch to catch, and just coming out of the box, Frazier just could not get that snap onto the glove.
All right, again, it's a 1-1 count. There's a single hit hard right at Adam Kraske. Is going to drop in front of him quickly, up with the ball, quickly in, and that will hold the runner. Very, very alert outfield play by Adam Kraske in center field. Keeps that run from scoring, Dan.
Keith, a very athletic move. Kraske, one of the most difficult balls to field is one hit right at you, and he definitely moved right up, played it perfectly, and just saved that extra run.
Yeah, and you got to think we've had a little bit of moisture here with the rain out against Brashear this past Friday, which was the 12th, and that field is pretty lush and soft, so I think he probably knew that ball would get down pretty quickly, and he read his outfield pretty well.
Actually, it looks like the grass was mowed within the last day, so hopefully we won't be seeing any nasty hops or a slowdown in any shots that are hit at the outfielders. And
again, that last game rained out. It rained heavily early in the morning. There's a throw over by Leckenby as he looks to try and keep Wachek in check at first base, keeping runners at the corners with one away here in the first inning. And a run in for Peters Township. There's another one. Gets past Repechak. Down in the dirt, and that will allow the run to score. That'll be a throwing error on Tim Leckenby as he tried that pickoff, and Wachek goes on to second. And a mistake like that will hurt you big time against a ball club like this. And now with a runner at second, Tim Leckenby has to work, coming right on down to Adam Becker.
I think that was an angry strike. I think Tim was a little frustrated with that last throw, and I think he showed it on that last pitch.
Yep. Well, he has a good pickoff move as a left-hander to first base, and I'm sure he thought he could handle that. And there's another strike. Nice one. Just catching that outside corner, working that very well.
And I tell you what, we have been successful in picking off players. Last game, I think we picked off 2 players.
Well, we'll see if we can't continue that string. The 0-2 delivery. Ground ball. Joel Klein gobbles it up, looks the runner back, throws over to Repechak, and that is a nice out. So there's 2 gone.
I tell you what, that was a great play by Joel. He saw the play. He was fully aware that the guy in second going to third. He looked him back. He saved the runner from advancing to third and made a great play to first.
All right, and here's their third baseman, Ryan Tassone, at the plate. Ryan wearing number 4. Looks at a pitch from Leckenby right on that outside top corner. And that is strike 1.
I think he is finding his stuff right now, Keith.
Well, if he had to get angry over throwing that pickoff ball off, that's okay. As Tassone pops this one up, Adam Kraski's going to come in, and he makes the catch for out number 3, but little damage done here in the top of the first inning by the Peters Township Indians, and they're up quickly 2-0. Upper St. Clair coming to bat in just a moment. So approaching the plate here to start things off for the Upper St. Clair Panthers is number 3, Joel Klein, who today is not playing second base, Dan. He's been shifted in the field, but not in the batting order.
Well, I'll tell you what, Joel has played many positions, and Coach Malarkey has a lot of confidence in whatever position he's in. He'll do a fine job.
Yep, and he does a fine job as a leadoff hitter. He can smack the ball, he can slap it, he can bunt it. He has just enough speed. As you see the third baseman come in for Peters Township on the grass, they've got that respect for a possibility of a leadoff bunt. Chris Wachek, their pitcher, delivers his first offering, and it is high and outside, and it is ball number 1. And at third, that's Ryan Tassone coming in, putting just the tips of his shoes on that infield grass. Now he steps in a little bit. Wachek is set. Here's the pitch. That one's going to hit that corner and go to 1-1 with Joel Klein.
Right over the top fastball. He dropped it right in there for a strike.
Yeah, I find it interesting, too, that you look at a lot of pitchers like Wachek right now. He's out of the stretch. There must be a comfort zone there. That ball looks off the plate from my viewpoint, but umpire Will Corso says, nope, that is strike number 2, so it's a 1-2 count to Joel Klein. Anthony Pizzone on deck for the Upper St. Clair Panthers. Wachek again out of the stretch. His delivery. Same spot as the last one, and doesn't get the strike call there, 2-2. That breaking pitch may have fooled the umpire as well, Dan.
That's right.
In just a moment, we'll set the defense for you for the Peters Township Indians. As Wachek throws that 2-1 pitch, and that looks to me like that just misses.
Yeah, being a full count.
Excuse me, that was a 2-2. Yep, exactly. That's a full count now. I stand corrected. Thank you, Daniel. Now Joel's got to make something happen, and Wachek has to bring it in. You don't want to walk that leadoff batter. Joel says, no, you don't have to walk me. I'll get a base hit. That is a nice, sweet swing for Joel Klein, and the way to start it for Upper St. Clair.
What a great at-bat. He waited for his pitch. And most of the strikes that were called on him were on the corners, and he waited for the pitch he wanted, and he drove it into center field. Great hit.
Absolutely. Center fielder Dave Galani quickly jumping on that ball to keep the speedy Joel Klein just to a single now. He'll take a short lead, Pfeffer will hold him at first the best he can. Watchett looks, and he pitches his first offering to Anthony Pizzone, and that is outside. I'm sorry, eclipsed the outside corner for strike number 1. Anthony Pizzone moved up in the number 2 position from our previous broadcast. Gannon Rooney on deck. Jerry Malarkey shuffling the lineup a little bit. Here's the 0-1, fouled back. DeCello coming back for it. Can't quite get there in time. That was good hustle. I don't think he quite caught the ball when it went up in the air right away, Dan.
That's right. The ball wasn't a high ball, so he had to really hustle, and it was almost, even if he would have dived for it, I don't think he would have had it.
Well, plus this is when that ball is fouled off here at Boyce Mayview Field, there's so much room behind the catcher here compared to what they're used to at most other fields. It's a whole different kind of read right now. But it's an 0-2 pitch that is coming from Wachek to Anthony Pizzone. Joel Klein at first. That whatever that breaking pitch was supposed to be, it didn't.
I think it was a 90-mile-an-hour high and hard one that was just way outside.
Whatever it was intended to do, it didn't. And it's a 1-2 count now. Joel Klein inching off first base. Wachek looks, delivers. Swung on and a miss, and strike number 3. Strikeout number 1.
I'll tell you what, that was a good swing. I think Washik set him up with that fastball and then dropped in that off-speed pitch and just caught him.
All right, protecting this lead. Dan will set the defense for you for the Indians in just a moment, right after this pitch. To Gannon Rooney. Runner is off. He's breaking, coming down, and Joel Klein is going to get a nifty stolen base there. He got such a great jump on the pitcher that by the time the throw came over to first base, Joel Klein was 2/3 of the way with a stolen base.
Great hustle
down
move.
To second base.
And I'll tell you what, for Peters Township in left field, we have Phil Sofero, Dave Galani, and Matt Lothar. At third base, we have Ryan Tassone, shortstop Adam Becker, second base Phil Pasarchik, and at first base, Pfeiffer. Behind the plate is Brett DeCello, and on the mound is Washik.
All righty, and Wachek is looking now with a runner at second. First pitch to Gannon Rooney, a chopper to short. Joel Klein will go to third. Rooney almost makes it into first, out by a step, as that is a throw from Adam Becker at short over to R.J. Pfeiffer, and it advances the runner, so it is a quality at-bat with a 6-3. And that'll bring up Joe Repishek. Joe playing first base all season long. If he were to play somewhere else, where would he play, Dan?
Third base.
Really? Well, we'll find out if he even needs to. We've got a lot of guys who are capable of playing that position. All right, he looks at his first offering of the afternoon. He'll take it on the inside corner.
I'll tell you what, Joe has been hitting the ball hard, but it's right at people. So I know he's frustrated. I told him after the last game, you just keep hitting the ball hard.
That's all you can do in this game. Hit the ball, make the contact. Things will eventually happen. 0-1 now. Wachek throws and misses high, and it's 1-1. Joel Klein getting a nice little lead, but not going crazy down there. Very conservative, and I think it helps when you know you have the confidence of your own speed. You don't have to take a huge lead, even at third base. Ryan Tassone doesn't look to hold him much either. He's just playing it straight up. Wachek stepping back off behind the mound for a little bit.
Looks like the outfielder shifted a little bit, took a couple steps backwards.
Well, Dave Galani started to move, and now he's moving back out in center field. Now he's moving to his right just a smidge. Bunch of adjustments going on here as Joe Repishek looks at a 1-1 pitch. That ball looks outside, but the umpire, Will Corso, says strike 2. Catching that top outside corner. On deck, Eric Krolzik, who's playing shortstop today for the Panthers. 2-0, Peters Township on top. Panthers batting here in the bottom of the first. Here's Wachek's offering. Chopper. Right to short. Becker. Over to Pfeffer. He comes up and off the bag, and no, they're going to say he is safe, and Joel Klein is crossing the plate with the first run of the afternoon. Good hustle by Joe Repishek.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, it was a chopper, and Joe does have some legs, and he did get there.
That is an infield hit for Joe. Not a throwing error or anything like that. He just hustled to get there, and with the first baseman jumping to come up with the throw, he takes himself off the bag, and that scores a run. That'll be an RBI, cuts the lead in half, and gives Eric Krolzik a chance to keep the inning going.
I'll tell you what, it was a great athletic move by Joe. He saw the he saw the throw coming up a little bit high and decided to come down low and actually half slid into the first base.
Now, you know, Dad, if you give him too much credit, you'll have to give him the keys to the car when he comes home, or whatever, extra money for the movies or something like that. So you want to be careful in your praise. But he did do a nice job. Oh, Eric Krolzik would like to have that pitch back.
That was right there.
That was right there. I think he.
That was in his wheelhouse.
That was there, and he decided to lay off it on the break, and he winds up with an 0-2 count now. He has to get very defensive. Little something going here. Joe Repashak at first with that chopping infield hit. Wachek delivers. Off the end of the bat, down the right field line, going foul and off the fence. Well, Eric was doing a little hit it where it was pitched.
That's right.
That one.
Hitting 101. It's called protecting. And he's been protecting all early season. He's been getting some good hits.
Well, during his development over the years, and I've had Eric on teams of mine and watched him play and grow up, and the influence of his brother, who was pretty good, he has developed into a one fine hitting ball player. Swing on and a miss, ball dropped. He's going to hustle down to the first base line, and the throw is late from DeCello, but there just in time. And that is out number 3. But the St. Clair Panthers come up with a run with a fortuitous infield hit, and they cut the score in half. It's 2-1. Peters Township on top and coming to bat in just a moment.
Now batting, RJ.
Alrighty, here we are starting off the top of the second inning. Peters Township Indians will send their first baseman, R.J. Pfeffer, up to the plate to lead things off. That'll put their left fielder, Phil Zafiro, on deck. And the designated hitter, Brett McIntosh, will be batting third here in the top of the second, facing Tim Leckenby. Tim coming in and working again that nice outside corner with his big left-handed delivery.
Well, that's the way you want to start the second inning.
Well, we talked about it in our other telecast, Dan. Another pitch. This one looks maybe like it's a little down to the umpire's liking, and it's 1-1. But we talked about the importance of that first pitch strike in baseball at all levels. It really changes the odds for the pitcher a lot. Ball missing just outside.
I'll tell you, Pfeiffer is a very good athlete. He's also one of the 2 quarterbacks for Peters Township.
A lot of multiple athletic abilities with a lot of these young men on these teams. Tim's pitch inside, a little high, a little something on it. Pfeiffer fouls it off for strike 2.
I think RG also plays basketball as well.
I will tell you about the on-field discussion I had with the manager for the Panthers, Jerry Malarkey, about badminton. Chris Wheeler was in on that discussion as that ball is fouled off again. I went down to say hello to both Jerry and his coach, who helps him out, Christopher Wheeler, former Upper St. Clair grad.
Very good player.
Yeah, and we were talking in general about sports. And we look at Tim's pitch now, and that one is fouled up over and above us. And Chris said that there was a school that was down south that has decided to cancel all sports and put in enhanced physical activity for all of its students. This is at the college level. All right, we look at a 2-2 from Leckenby. That ball comes right in, and we're going to look at a called strike 3 for
He could do
Pfeffer.
nothing but look at that pitch. That was a beautiful pitch. He framed it.
Very nice. Very nice, and that brings up Zafiro, Phil Zafiro. So anyway, Jerry Malarkey says, after the comment about the change in sports, he goes, yeah, they'd put in sports like aerobic dancing and badminton. And we had a chuckle, and I said, yeah, but imagine, there's a swinging strike. Imagine, I said, with badminton, you got a chance to go to the Olympics, and you don't with baseball.
That's right.
Or wrestling anymore.
That's a good point.
You just go, what? We had a good chuckle over that one. There's another foul ball. This one off to the left, way out in the parking lot, and Tim Leckenby is quickly ahead, 0-2. So we'll be announcing the Upper St. Clair badminton schedule here very soon,
tell
Dan.
you.
We want you to do the play-by-play on that, okay? Oh, dear.
I'll have to freshen up on my badminton
On your badminton
rules.
Yeah. Here we go. This pitch up and in on Zafiro, just missing, and it's a 1-2 count.
Wasn't there a badminton scandal at the last Olympics?
Yes, there was. Yeah, a team played deliberately terrible so they could get a better seating. All right, Tim Leckenby misses on that pitch. 2-2. That is correct.
Keith, it just goes to show that I do watch TV at 3 a.m. during the Olympics.
Oh, my. All right. Nice pitch
Wow.
by Leckenby. Right in on the hands, and that is another strikeout.
I tell you, Tim is putting on a clinic this inning. He is all over the strike zone.
Great pitch control.
Now batting, Brett McIntosh.
Well, I get the strikeouts here for Tim Leckenby. He has 3 so far in this game, with Brett McIntosh coming to the plate.
He called that a strike too.
Yeah, how about that? That and McIntosh, of course, the designated hitter. You will not see him in the field unless something changes. He chops that one foul down towards the dugout for the Panthers. In the field,
I'll tell you what, I think both pitchers are realizing that the umpire has just a little bit more wider strike zone, and they're taking full advantage of it.
They are indeed, yeah. McIntosh, the designated hitter in place of Dave Galani. And he catches that one on the outside corner. Got him looking. That's 3 up, 3 down,
What an
all
inning.
by strikeouts for Tim Leckenby. And that certainly helps a 3 up, 3 down inning for the Panthers as they will come to bat now. Again, it's 2-1 Peters Township on top. Bottom of the second, right around the corner. Well, it's great to see the top of the second was a 0 for Peters Township, particularly for all the Upper St. Clair fans. Now they got to put some maybe crooked numbers up if they can on the bottom half of this frame. Again, Keith James along with Dan Repeshek here from Boyce Mayview Field. This is our second telecast that we're recording and playing for you back on our public access channel here in Upper St. Clair and available elsewhere in the South Hills. I was talking with the manager, Joe Mays, for Peters Township, telling him that they'll be able to see it. And he goes, oh, yeah. He goes, I know what you're here. I know what you're doing, and we've been able to see it in the past. Lead-off hit, a smack by Ian Frazier.
Once again, Ian Frazier, he's the type of player that typically you usually see him in a leadoff role. Between him and Klein, Jerry Malarkey has a tough decision which one to put in there, but today both of them have gotten hits their first outing.
Third hit of the afternoon for the Panthers. Joel Klein with that leadoff single.
He's
Joe
a speedster.
Yep. And now Ben Haas steps in. Ben Haas, the right fielder this afternoon. There's the throw over to keep Ian Frazier honest over there. Ian Frazier very aggressive on the base paths and very smart about his aggressiveness.
He knows how to get into the head of the pitcher. He'll give him a little juke.
He has the attention of Chris Wachek now. Here's a little bunt. Nice bunt. Look at this. Nice little bunt to advance Ian Frazier. And Ben Haas with some speed nearly got to first base in time, but he's got a nice sack bunt, and Ian Frazier moves into scoring position.
I'll tell you what, he laid down that bunt on the first base side. That's what they say in the textbook. He's perfect lay-down bunt, almost beat it out. Second baseman covered. It was a good play by Peters.
They had to play it. There was no other way to do that. Ian Frazier knew he was moving. And now that brings to the plate Chaz Mertz, who is the designated hitter this afternoon, wearing number 29. Chaz is hitting in place of the pitcher, Tim Leckenby. He chops that one away, 0-1.
I think Chaz is a sophomore.
He's one of the younger players. In fact, both of these teams are rich in younger players. Right up the middle, Chaz Mertz. A nice move by Adam Becker to get to the ball, but then he can't quite find the handle as Chaz Mertz will get himself a base hit.
I'll tell you what, it was a chopper up the middle, and the shortstop had to cover. He had to make a very athletic move. He had to come up throwing hard, and he just couldn't do it. And Mertz beat it out.
And on the play, Ian Frazier alertly goes to third. And with one out, Jerry Malarkey has some time to work with, and he's going to call time now, as he's going to look at an opportunity for Adam Kraske to maybe use his bat and his speed now.
Well, I'll tell you what, we got a speedster in third. We have a speedster at the plate. Jerry has called suicide bunts in this situation. I wonder if it's going to happen here.
Adam Kraske pretty good with the bat, and he's got to make that defense work because he is the fastest guy on the team. He may be the fastest guy playing baseball in the South Hills. He looks at Wachek's first pitch, which catches the low outside corner for strike number one. You think the team got to pick up with Tim Leckenby striking out the side on the top of the second?
Absolutely.
They're showing it here at the plate, that's for sure. Wachek now, 0-1. Shows bunt. Ian Frazier was coming, and Adam Kraske missed the bunt. Ian Frazier coming back. And they're going to say he got back in time. Brett DeCello caught that ball. Ian Frazier was breaking. Kraske misses on the bunt. And Ian Frazier holds off and then jumps quickly back to third base to beat the throw to Ryan Tassone.
I tell you what, it is so difficult to try to catch a speedster like Ian Frazier. He made him look, and then dive for the base and got it.
Well, it was the suicide play that you saw.
Exactly.
The only thing that didn't work was Adam Kraske getting some lumber on the ball, and it's 1-1 now. This pitch right at the top of the zone. Adam is not happy with himself. That's all right. You get to swing the bat now. And there's still
Washak was definitely upset with that play. He thought he had an easy out there, and he was clearly frustrated.
Oh, you see if he can stay within himself. For the Panthers, still only one out. They've got another one to work with, and they'll go to the top of the order after this. Now Wachek steps off.
I think he saw something from the catcher's signs that he didn't like.
Infield umpire right behind him, Chris McSwiggan. Second base getting covered. As Chaz Mertz had alertly gone down to second base on the play on Frazier. I think that's another thing that I've noted about this team, that they don't just look at the play that's in front of the baseball or where the ball is. Any runners who are behind, they're doing the right thing to advance. Chopper to Wachek. He has to go to first. Frazier's going to come home, and it's a close play, and he's safe. He's in under the throw. Wachek goes over he tried to check Frazier. In this instant, Ian never went back to third base. He never made a motion at all. Wachek went over to first to get the out. Frazier kept on coming and beat the throw.
And I'll tell you what, Kraske just missed making that a clean base hit. Wachek was a little bit delayed, a little bit put off. He didn't know whether to throw back to third, and he decided to go to one, just getting Kraske, but it was just enough of a lead for Ian Frazier to go in for the score.
Well, and again, we talk about alert base running behind the play. Chaz Mertz has come up to third base, and now Joel Klein, who started the Panther first inning with a base hit and then scored, is now at the plate again. Nice one down the left field line. This one is going to go over to DeSofrio, and that will score. Chaz Mertz and the Upper St. Clair Panthers have taken the lead.
What a nice hit. He sat back, he waited on it. Washik obviously was upset. He came in with his setup strike, and Klein, who saw him last inning, caught him again this inning.
Yeah,
Two hits.
The question is, with the way those plays have gone, as the game gotten into, or the calls gotten into the head of Chris Wachek, he's certainly a fine young man, and he's just got to settle himself down now to deal with the what's going on and happening to him now as Anthony Pizzone looks at a ball that is high for his first appearance here in the second inning. A lot happens very quickly in these games. Quick pace. Wachek now out of the stretch. Misses away. DeCello drops the ball, but he pounces right on it because he doesn't want Joel Klein advancing. Wow.
I'll tell you, Pozzone is the way he's been hitting. I hope Washek doesn't realize, and if he drops in a strike, he'll smack this one in the left too.
Well, there's a reason Anthony Pozzone has moved up in the order as he looks at a ball, and that is because he's making such terrific contact. Swinging the bat, doing a great job at the plate, and a solid left fielder. Again, Klein at first. 2 out now. Wachek to Pozzone. Misses the inside corner, and he walks in. So that'll put another runner in scoring position.
Tell you what, I think it's time for a little 2-out thunder, 2-out lightning, whatever you want to call it.
You're 50-50 on calling that, you know.
That's
Did you
right.
know that?
And also the last game, Rooney smashed the home run.
That's true. I believe 3-run homer, I think it was.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was against Cannon McMillan. They wound up losing that game 12-11. What a Donnybrook that was. Be nice to see just a nice hit here. Again, this is one of those we don't need a hero, just a hit. Chops this one foul over towards the Peters dugout.
Rooney has a small frame, but boy, he can really get around and drive that ball.
Gets the most out of it. All right, Phil Pisarcik trying to keep Joel Klein a little closer at second base. He comes in, now he has to come back to his position so Rooney doesn't hit that big open hole at second. Here's Wachek's delivery. DeCello drops another one but covers and keeps it in front of him. And that is a 1-1 count now.
I notice Rooney's dad has been filming all of his hits. He has a real highlight reel.
Have to buy his own television
That's
studio
right.
to edit it all together. All right, again, it's a 1-1 count, 2 out. 3-2 lead for Upper St. Clair. Men on first and second. Chris Wachek, delivery. That's going to miss high. Ball not coming down in this inning like it did in the first inning.
That's not true. No.
Anthony Pozzone at first. Joel Klein in scoring position at second.
I don't think he did.
Here's the offering. Top of the zone. That'll be a strike right in there. And that'll make that count 2-2, Dan. Now this is when you look at Gannon Rooney helping himself out, bearing down a little bit with that 2-2 pitcher's count. Hands up high, bat wiggles, quiets, smashes it down the left field line, but foul.
I tell you what, it went right over the third base and then took a hard left and almost knocked the fence over. He hit it so hard.
He did stroke that ball hard. Joel Klein with 2 outs was moving as well. And we're only in the second inning. We've had a lot of action in just 2 innings of play here. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Wachek's been throwing a lot of pitches.
He has been working a lot. Now they have a bullpen, and it includes another left-hander, which we talked about in our last telecast, how many left-handers the Panthers are going to see. In fact, if I were another coach, I might use a right-hander to throw him off. I don't know. All righty. Here's Wachek now. Out of the stretch, delivers the 2-2. Fouls that one back. Gannon Rooney staying alive. Keeping the pressure on.
He's a very controlled hitter. He swings only at strikes.
Now that's a big key, but it's tough nowadays that you have, the pitchers at this level are so good at starting a ball outside and bringing it into the zone with some of their breaking pitches. It's really hard to swing at strikes all the time. There's a ball up in the air. Coming in on it, center fielder Dave Galani, and he makes the 3rd out, but not before the St. Clair Panthers managed to come up with a couple of runs and take the lead at the bottom of the 2nd inning. Peters Township coming to the top of the 3rd in just a moment. Brett DeCello, the catcher for the Peters Township Indians today. Coming to the plate here in the top of the 3rd, Tim Leckenby had a nice 2nd inning, striking out 3 batters, a quick 3. The question is, did he sit too long during that fairly long inning and the nice inning that the Panthers had, battling in the bottom of the 2nd?
We will soon find out.
Well, we find out with ball one, and he comes right back with strike one. So it's 1-1 to DeCello. I find it interesting that for the Peters Township Indians, Joe Mays is one of the few managers who does not coach third base, and that ball misses low for a 2-1 count. Rudy Picorni is down there at third base instead of the manager. Now, Rudy's been with Joe a long time. He's a good baseball man. But I think it's pretty interesting because a lot of those managers really like that position of the third base coach, believing that you're responsible to help make runs happen down there.
Well, it just goes to show that the confidence that Joe has in his coaching staff.
All right, it's a 3-1 count now to Brett DeCello. This pitch comes in and just clips that low outside corner. Runs the count full. 3-2 Panther lead. Indians scored first with 2 in the first. Here's the full count. Another strikeout for Timmy Leckenby. This one's swinging, but it counts just the same.
I tell you what, that was a very good series of pitches. Set him up, and I think that he was looking for a curveball, and he just came in with a nice hard fastball, a little bit high, and he chased it.
Phil Pisarcik comes in, puts the bat on the ball. First offering right up the middle. Nice clean base hit for Pisarcik.
Now batting Matt Luther.
Pisarcik had a leadoff, it was not a leadoff walk, but walked in the first inning and scored after a stolen base and was driven in by the Matt Lothar single. He is a threat to steal. Tim will go to the stretch, looking towards first base. Repeshak will hold him. Lothar back at the plate. Lothar, the right fielder, wearing number 22 for the Indians. Again, Pisarcik with the lead. Leckenby looks, he's going to deliver home. Pitch away. Pitch out, Dan? Was that a pitch out, you think?
Yeah, I think it was a scheduled pitch out, but he really didn't take off. He was going to try to pinch him.
Sometimes the runner knows that it's going to be a pitch out and won't. He'll fake it just to make him waste a pitch because it's ball one now to Matt Lothar.
And you can hear the first base coach as well. I mean, yelling back. He might have saw that ahead of Pisarcik and gave him a heads up.
All righty. 1-0. Another throw over. Got to be careful. That one was low, and that's how Matt Lothar was able to advance. Tim had a throw that went in the dirt that Joe Repeshak could not handle in the first inning, and allowed Lothar to move over to second base.
I'll tell you what, in that last inning, where that ball that got by Joe, I have been at games where Joe has faked like it was a pass ball and to actually catch the guy traveling off of first base.
There you go.
Unfortunately, that wasn't the case.
That was not the case. Here's a 1-1, and that's going to be high. Yeah, there's a lot of tricks to the trade that they're still learning even here at this advanced high school level. These varsity players been around the game for a little while, but the stuff that they still have to learn. All right, the 2-1. Hit towards Pizzone in left field. He is legging this one out. He'll run it down, make a nice catch into the cutoff man, and the runner cannot advance.
I'll tell you, he got a good jump on that ball, and he didn't panic. He just took off. He's a full sprint, and then at the last second, put his arm out and pulled it in.
Anthony Pizzone with some pretty good range out there in left field. So 2 down now. Chris Wachek, the pitcher for the Indians, comes up, and he again is a left-handed batter. So you'll see Ben Haas move just a little bit. Runners going in the dirt, and there is no play on him. Pisarcik goes down with a stolen base. That's 2 in the afternoon for him.
The pitch was a non-strike. Ian Frazier thought the better of it and decided to eat it rather than throw it.
Well, I think too with the ball in the dirt and right at the batter's feet, He sets up outside on this one, off the handle, over towards third base. Joel Klein coming in, cannot get there in time. Goes a little deeper into the zone, the backstop zone, than I thought it did, but that'll give a count of 1-1 for Tim Leckenby to work with. It would have been nice to get out of the inning for the Panther fans with a foul pop-out. But Wachek will get another shot at it. He had a single in the first. Here's the windup. Pitch on him.
That was a great stop by Ian Frazier.
Yeah, that ball in the dirt. Ian came over and showed why he's such a good catcher.
I'll tell you, if that would have got by him, that would have been an easy base.
Ian with a real good look from a college program. Here's the pitch. Another one low and away, working the other side of the plate. And I don't think Tim Leckenby wants to come in on Wachek very much. 3-1 the count. Pisarcik out at second base, taking the lead. Eric Krolzik will try and fake him back a little bit, cover his position. There's a chopper. That's going to go over to Gannon Rooney. Clean field over to Repacek. And that's the inning.
Routine.
No damage done there. One hit and a stolen base, and the score remains Panthers 3, Peters Township 2. Panthers coming to bat in a moment. So we move into the bottom of the third inning now, and for the St. Clair Panthers, Joe Repacek, first baseman wearing number 9, will come up to the plate. Joe had that chopping infield hit in inning number 1 that helped produce that first run of the game with Joel Klein scoring. Now he looks to lead things off here in the third inning, bottom of. Chris Wachek still out on the mound for the Peters Township Indians. Left-hander goes again out of the stretch. He's going to have that ball break in on that outside corner. Will Corso likes that outside corner for his strike calls.
Both on the inside and out.
0-1. Hit in the air towards left. Phil Zafrio coming in, makes an easy catch off that pop fly, and there's one gone.
Now batting,
Eric Krolzik will come up to the plate. I do not, you may know this, Eric's older brother, is he playing in college, Dan?
I don't think he is.
I know he's a real good ball player. I just do not know if he went on to
Had
play
a great
at the
high
collegiate
school
level.
career.
A wonderful high school career and a good guy. Their dad, Eric's dad, not here today as he swings and misses at strike one. Joe Krolzik traveling today, but he comes to a lot of games when business allows.
I'll tell you what, the Krelzik name is very big in Upper St. Clair baseball.
All right, the 0-1 offering. Low and missing outside, 1-1. Eric with a strikeout in inning number 1 to end that inning. And now he'll step out. Light breeze blowing here today, but boy, what a wonderful day. I mean, just a very light right to left breeze. I don't think it'll affect many balls. Looking at a strike there, changing his mind and checking his swing, but the call is a strike. We know we've had a couple of games here, Dan, where we weren't telecasting, but man, the breeze was mighty stiff and did affect some fly balls. Not today. Wachek's delivery misses, and it's 2-2.
We've been very unfortunate. Both the pre-season trip down to South Carolina and the first week of the baseball season was very cold.
Very cold, very blustery. Today, however, again, we're at 65, 66 degrees at game time. Overcast. That ball hit foul, pulled down, way down the line, past the pitching bullpen. But the conditions are almost ideal for a baseball game here today. Field in great shape. I know, speaking with Jerry Malarkey before the game, he talked about the rain that wiped out the Brashear game that was scheduled for the 12th, Friday the 12th. The field was quite wet, There was some standing water, and then the next day they went to practice, and the outfield was still pretty soggy. Other than that, it was in good shape. There's the ball to shortstop. Becker up with it. And that will be 2 away here in inning number 3 for the Panthers.
I'll tell you what, a great play by Becker. It was a shot right at him. He fielded the ball and came up, just took a little bit of a crow step, and just fired the ball right at the first baseman.
Yeah, a lot of good reasons that Joe Mays has Adam Becker at shortstop, and one of them is his quickness and his hands. Great quickness, lateral movement, and very good hands. Good ball sense. There's a ball that looks like it's going to get down in the gap. It is going to get down in the gap. That could be 2. Turning first, going to second easily is Ian Frazier as he manages to get a 2-out double to get things going here for the Panthers in inning number 3.
There was no doubt about it. Right off the bat, you knew it was going to be an extra base hit right in the gap between left and center. Peters actually did a nice job of tracking the ball down and keeping it just to a double.
Yeah, and they knew where they were going with it. They're going to throw ahead of that runner, especially a fast runner like Ian Frazier. So it sets up a scoring opportunity, an RBI opportunity for Ben Haas, the right fielder for the Panthers. Wachek will step off. He stepped on and then quickly stepped off. Sometimes it's a comfort thing, and it has nothing to do with the runner. Pisarcik trying to hold Ian Frazier a little closer to second.
I tell you what's so ironic. We talked earlier in the earlier innings how a guy like Ian Frazier always finds a way to get on. Look at this. Once again, he finds a way to get on. In this case, a great hit.
Well, I think it's interesting and it has to be a plus for Jerry Malarkey. We look at this pitch here. That one's going to miss inside for 1-1. I think it's interesting for Jerry Malarkey that when he has several players who are very fast, and he has several players that are not as fast, but they're very smart base runners. Gives them a lot of speed on the base paths, a lot of flexibility there. And you got a fast runner at the plate here. Ben Haas can zip down the line as well. Looking for a little contact here with 2 outs.
That was good control, pulling back, not swinging at that ball in the dirt.
That's a 2-1 count. Will Corso, the home plate umpire, will do a little housekeeping. And look at the slight shift in the outfield. If you look at the left fielder, he's in just a little bit on Ben Haas, and the center fielder, Dave Galani, is over just a little bit, but he moves around a lot. And I've been watching Galani, and it's hard to figure where he's going to wind up, and I don't think he does it because he's looking at confusing the batter. I think he's one of those guys out there. He's got to keep moving between pitches. Here's the 2-1.
Well, Keith, I'm 1 for 1, and I'm going to try it again. I think it's a 2-out Lightning.
Well, certainly the advantage is to the batter right now with the 3-1 count. Chris Wachek working, just missing on that pitch to make it 3-1 to Ben Haas. Frazier at second. Takes a nice lead, straight away. Ball in the air. Could be trouble. Galani going back, stumbles a little, and he makes the catch. Had a little time ranging it in, but Dave Galani pulls it in for the Peters Township Indians as they get out of inning number 3 without any damage, and they'll come to bat in just a moment. And you're watching here in the top of the 4th inning, the Peters Township Indians at Upper St. Clair. Our telecast being brought to you by our local public access. And that public access, these games are available on replay. Dan, where can they be seen?
Well, I will find out in the next play.
Oh, all right. Well, how about this? I can tell you where they'll be seen. On Comcast, they're on Channel 7. You'll find them on Channel 7, and on, if you're a Verizon customer, Channel 42. Dan will tell you the next game that we'll have in just a moment. Nice of you to even show up, by the way, Dan. Nice to have you here. So.
Well, I'll tell you what, our next televised game will be this Saturday, April 20th, against South Fayette. Fiery team.
And we look forward to that one, and this game will be rebroadcast multiple times on the channel, and you want to keep looking at the channel guide for the opportunity to see it. All right, leading off here is Adam Becker. While we're giving you our television spiel, Adam Becker looks at 2 balls from Tim Leckenby, and now a strike as Tim gets on the board, and it is a 2-1 count.
I tell you what, Tim is quietly taking control of this game.
Well, he has recorded 5 strikeouts so far. just misses on that one for ball 3 to Becker.
And the team has certainly responded and rallied around him after that two-run first inning. That's all it's been.
Well, Tim a little slow out of the gate against Bethel Park as well, but man, he settled down and just did a nice job. That's a nice pitch right there that Becker swings through, and that evens the count at 3-2, Dan. Yeah, the gamesmanship out of Tim Leckenby is strong. That's our observation anyway. Ball popped up behind. Ian Frazier going to come over towards the screen. Just can't quite get there.
And I will tell you this, the way the clouds look right now, I mean, I think he turned around and that ball just turned right into a cloud.
It is entirely possible. It's, you got the way this field is laid out, it's difficult when there's sunshine. But a ball can disappear into the clouds as well. Plus that short pop up behind you, you're not sure where that fence is, that wall is. Nonetheless, Ian tried, couldn't quite get there. So it's a full count to Becker. Pitch just missing, and that is a leadoff walk. Here in the 4th inning, a base runner for the Peters Township Indians.
Now batting Ryan.
It is only the 2nd walk of the afternoon given up by Tim Leckenby. Ryan Tassone is the batter now, their 3rd baseman. He drops down a bunt. Tim will field, get there quickly to first base. Nice sacrifice bunt right off the bat by Ryan Tassone, and it moves the man to 2nd. Well executed.
Well executed on both parts. Leckenby had to get off the mound, and he had to cover a lot of grass to cover that ball. Great job.
Walking up to the plate, first baseman R.J. Pfeffer. Struck out looking in the 2nd inning. First of 3 strikeout victims in a row. Hard shot, one hopper right to Krolzik. He alertly goes to Joel Klein. They're going to get that lead runner right back over to 3rd base. Got him in the rundown. Ball up, shortened the distance, and
got him.
He is out of there. What a good heads-up play to start that rundown by Eric Krolzik. A quick one-hopper right in front of the runner, and rather than throw to first, he threw to Joel Klein at 3rd. That started the rundown, and bingo, out of the inning.
And I'll tell you, Eric did a great job. He simulated throwing the ball just to make the runner hold up just enough for him to nab him.
I'm sorry, I said out of the inning. I meant the runner was out of the inning. We are not out of the inning, but there are 2 outs here for Tim Leckenby. And they got a chance of getting out of the inning here without any damage. Phil Zafiro. Here's the pitch, the throwdown on the steal.
Without a doubt.
Ian Frazier just knocking him down. Good jump by the base runner, Pfeffer, but Ian Frazier throws him out on a caught stealing, and that's the way to get out of the inning. Holding on to your lead 3-2, the Upper St. Clair Panthers will come to bat in a moment. So for the Upper St. Clair Panthers, they send Chaz Mertz, the designated hitter, to the plate to start off the inning. The St. Clair has 3 runs on 6 hits. No errors, and they have left 4 so far as we head into the bottom of the 4th inning. Those are pretty decent numbers for a ball game against a team that was on a roll coming in with a 7-2 overall mark in the Indians.
It's been a very clean game on both sides. I haven't seen anybody kicking around balls or making any mistakes.
All right, Chris Wachek still in the contest. And he throws to Chad Mertz, and Mertz fouls it off. Good swing, hard contact. Still impressed with Ian Frazier throwing out that base runner. Here's Wachek again. Inside out on the ball. Mertz fouls it down, pass behind Chris Wheeler.
I'll tell you what, if there were any scouts at the game, I guarantee they opened up their notepad after that throw from Ian Frazier as a direct bullet right into 2nd base.
Yep. Well, obviously, he has been scouted before. Again, we're talking about a college offer and whatnot to play baseball with some scholarship possibilities there and whatnot, and that's why. All right, 0-2 now. Looking at a pitch outside. Wachek's going to nibble a little bit with the pitcher's count. Chaz Mertz, again, with a single, and he scored in the 2nd inning. Chopper, third base side, and foul. Tassone picks it up. Chaz got himself again a nice single in that second inning, and also scored the third run, which was the go-ahead run for the Panthers. Missing.
I tell you, Chaz is definitely a worker bee. I mean, he was on the bench, and when he was called on, he came on and he has produced.
Now I know I've seen him behind the plate, Dan. As we look at this 2-2 pitch.
Do you want to know what his name is?
Fouled away. And
Yeah.
I've seen him behind the plate. What other positions can Chaz play if and when he goes to the field?
He's a first baseman. He got the nod in the last game against Cannon Mac and did a fine job. And he hit for production. So I mean, I think he earned some playing time today.
Oh, check swing there. That goes over to Pisarcik at second. And I know he didn't want to hit that one, but he did, and that's the way the game goes, so he is quickly out. Adam Kraske coming to the plate.
Now batting, Adam Kress.
Adam now looking to do something. Striking out. I'm sorry, did not strike out. He chopped the ball back to the pitcher in the second inning. Almost got to the bag in time. That was the one where
He actually got a ribby on that.
Yeah, Watchik had to try and check Ian Frazier at third, and by the time he made the throw, you give an extra heartbeat to Adam Kraske, and he's going to beat you down the base paths, and he nearly did on that one. Ian Frazier, in the meantime, took advantage and scored. It was a nice RBI for Adam. And he looks at
and
another
Frazier.
strike.
Frazier was trying to get him that base hit. He was trying to get the pitcher to delay. He was trying to take care of his boy.
Just like all left. Yeah. And that one guy had to clean up.
Nice breaking pitch from Watchik now, and he's quickly ahead 0-2 to Adam Kraske. Joel Klein on deck, and that's high cheese, and strike three to Adam.
I think Adam was thinking curveball.
Whatever he was thinking, it didn't work,
Now batting,
and it worked for Chris Watchik.
Klein.
All right, pair of base hits for Joel Klein, and he scored a run so far today and managed to knock in an RBI. And a stolen base besides. He looks at that breaking pitch, and that's going to miss. That's ball one.
I see the judges showed up to see his son play.
Watchik now. Another breaking pitch. This one catches the corner. Fools Joel, and it's a 1-1 count. Infield playing a little deep at short and at second. Looking to give themselves a range against the speedy Joel Klein. Watchek's delivery misses high.
I tell you what, if Joel was a little bit taller, that would have been a strike because that was right across the plate. It was just a tad bit high.
Out of the stretch. Down and away. Going to miss low. Wow, here's a nice hitter's count, 3-1. You know this pitcher's got to come in with something decent. When you're a batter like a Joel Klein, you can just feast on something like this. Tassone comes in creeps in a little bit at third. Ball up in the air, over towards third base. Right in the coach's box. Ryan Tassone's going to grab that one. Out number 3. Inning number 4 in the books still. Panthers 3, Peters Township Indians 2. The 5th inning in a moment. Phil Zafiro, the left fielder, will start the 5th inning for the Peters Township Indians. And he looks to try and get something started for them as they took the lead early in the first inning, 2-0, and then St. Clair has battled back to make it a 3-2 ball game. We did not expect a blowout today, Dan Repechek.
Not at all.
We haven't seen that yet. In fact, I'm going to look at some numbers here these last couple innings. This has turned into a pitcher's duel.
I think we'll be paying a close attention on Luckenby. He's had 4 awesome innings. Let's see how long he can go.
There's a nice ball right up the middle. Strong hit. Good pitch from Tim Leckenby. And an even better hit from Phil Zafiro. And again, sometimes they say, well, the hitter does his job.
Now batting.
And Zafiro certainly did it there with a nice hit. And if you're behind trailing, well, actually in any situation, you want your leadoff runner on, and they have it. Now they have their designated hitter, Brett McIntosh, at the plate. Throw over, trying to keep Zafiro honest.
I'll tell you, after that last throw from Ian, I think they're going to think twice about taking a steal.
There's a nice pitch on the low outside corner for strike one. Yeah, that's the other thing about a good catcher, and I think you can draw a parallel with what the Pirates did by picking up Russell Martin. You know, you have catchers that have better percentages of getting runners. McIntosh faking the bunt. You have that makes you have to stop and think. You look at that. You look at the arms. You look at not just that they're all going to throw down and have a shot at it, but when you see how accurate they are, that's what makes you think and how quick the reactions are behind the home plate. And that's what Ian Frazier has. All right, here's Tim's delivery outside.
You know, looking at Tim's pitching motion too, I noticed from prior years when he does throw from the stretch, he had a tendency to have a high kick, and it kind of added a little bit of a delay to his release, and that's one of the reasons why a coach might give a sign to steal a base. But I'm noticing here he's kind of reeled it in, and he's got much faster release from the stress from the stretch this year.
A little quicker to home plate,
Yep.
little adjustment. 2-2 count now to McIntosh. Fouls this one away. Ball in on his hands a little bit. Well, I think the other thing here that will become a factor, even though this is a mild day, will be the stamina of either the pitcher, Tim Lekape or Chris Wachek. Throw over there is high and late. That's one of those just get back there, I'm thinking about you type of throws. As we get into these later innings, starting the fifth inning here, that is something that you got to keep an eye on as a manager. There's a ball right into center field. Adam Kraske coming in. That's going to drop in front of him quickly, throwing to second base. Oh. Just there in time. Adam Kraske quickly getting to the ball. That ball looked like it was going to make it out to Kraske, and that is why Phil Zafiro had to hold up a little bit. And then when the ball dropped in, he had to hustle to get to second base, but he made it.
That's right. He was halfway there and waiting, realizing it did drop in, and he had to hustle to get over the second base.
Yeah, otherwise he gets doubled up at first, particularly with the speed and the arm and the agility of Adam Kraske. So nobody out. You have a perfect scenario for the top of your order in Brett DeCello. And that situation is perfect because you have two men on, nobody out, and you've got some bats who can produce some runs coming. Now, Joe Mays comes out to talk to the home plate umpire, Will Corso. He comes down from his first base box. I'm not sure what this discussion was.
I think they're questioning Luckenby's throw to first. Is he kicking and coming towards the plate and then throwing the ball? And lefties kind of have an advantage a lot in that case. They can simulate like they are going home and just snap through it to the first baseman.
Well, I wonder if that was it or if it was just something about a lineup, because the umpire, Will Corso, had the lineup card out of his pocket, had his lineup sheet out of his pocket, as did Joe Mays. So we'll take a look at that. There's a bunt. Tim cannot field it, has to hurry to get the runner, and a nice sacrifice bunt by Brett DeCello, and it advances both runners. And that second runner, what that discussion was a substitute runner for McIntosh.
So much for conspiracy theories.
All right,
and
so
this is a dangerous hitter here.
Sacrifice goes 1-3. Both runners advance. 2 runs in scoring position now, and Phil Pisarcik at the plate. He has walked and singled, stolen 2 bases, and scored a run today. And on deck, Matt Lothar, who's responsible for an RBI today himself. No double play I can't say no double play in order. No conventional double play in order right now.
And Keith, I see nobody in the bullpen.
Jerry Malarkey has confidence in the way Tim has been battling. Still throwing well. Wouldn't know it by that pitch. That was up and away for a ball. But, yeah, still throwing very well. Some of this is a confidence thing. That was a nice sacrifice bunt by Brett DeCello. Boy, he just did exactly what he had to do. He kept it on the first base side towards the pitcher's mound a little bit. Tim comes in with a nice pitch there.
Oh, that was a great pitch. Actually fooled the batter.
Well, at 3-0, I'm not so sure that he would have been given the green light, but nonetheless, Pisarcik is now looking at a 3-1 count. Here comes Tim's delivery, missing just outside, and he walks the bases full. A little bit of a nail biter now. Matt Lothar up. Now again in the first inning had himself a base hit. And that managed to score the first run of the game for no, I'm sorry, that did not score the first run of the game.
And Jerry Malarkey takes a walk up to the mound to have a conference with the team.
Yeah, I'm going to correct myself. Matt Lothar did indeed knock in the first run of the game. He had that first RBI by knocking in Pisarcik. Then he scored himself a little bit later on. All right, now at least you have a double play in order here if you can keep the ball on the ground. And we'll see if that's the case with Matt Lothar. Lothar again with a single in the first and a fly out to left in inning number 3. Runners all over the place. Here's a ball in the gap. First pitch in the gap. That's going to go right over to Adam Kraske. He's going to field it, come in. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. A 3rd run scores. And as Pisarcik tries to go to third, he is thrown out. Little greedy on that base running, but certainly he managed to pick up his team with 3 RBIs and the ball to the gap.
That was a deep shot, and I'll tell you what, the third base coach gave Pisarcik, or
I'm sorry, Matt Lothar.
He gave him the green light. It was going to be a triple no matter what. He wanted to draw the throw in order to score that 3rd run.
Wow. 1 pitch, 1 hit, just like that. And
there is some activity now in the bullpen.
That'll bring up Chris Wachek. You wonder what the discussion was that Jerry Malarkey had on the mound, but it doesn't really matter because Lothar just smacked that ball. Wachek fouls this one off, and it's 1-1. What a day for Lothar. That's his 4 RBIs today.
All right, well, the scoreboard out here says
Pretty good production. This is the kind of offense that these teams can generate. The Indians have shown that earlier. Oh my. He is hit right in the helmet. That pitch came in on him and did not move. There was no break on that. Chris Wachek, number 24, was popped right in the helmet. And the coaches are going to check on him, Dan.
Yeah, that hit him. I tell you what, it caught the bill of his cap, of his helmet, and instead of going up, it went down. I think it caught him right in the forehead.
And it's hard to say the way the helmet popped off.
Looks like it was on the cheekbone.
Well, of course, they'll be attended to. Make sure that he is definitely A-OK. Joe Mays is right there with him. Umpire's checking it out, and I don't think that he's going to be allowed to stay in the game. Now, I know at earlier, or I should say at lower levels, sometimes you have to come out of the game. I'm not sure what the ruling would be here, but I think they're going to be very cautious on that. Here comes some medical help. Question is whether he got cut. And he will come out of the game. Or at least he's come out of the game for now. There'll be a runner in for him down at first base.
Now batting.
We have a new hitter here, Tyler Schmidt.
Tyler Schmidt in for Adam Becker. Schmidt pinch hitting at the moment. We'll see if he takes the position. There is a substitute runner at first, and I apologize, I cannot see his number from here. Fouled off by Schmidt. 2 out right now. But 3 runs in for Peters Township as they have regained the lead that they grabbed at the beginning of the contest. They're up 5-3 now, here in the top of the 5th. Again, substitute runner at first for Chris Wachek, who was just hit. Tim Leckenby misses outside with that one. 1-1. Tyler Schmidt, kind of a tall, lanky kind of young man. Over the plate. Nice swing, in off the hands. Fouled away, strike 2.
Tyler's a shortstop and a third baseman. Has great glove skills.
Well, the question would be why, unless it's a defensive move, or he thinks that he can get a little more out of him, why Joe Mays managed to make this switch right now as Tim Leckenby catches the corner for another strikeout, but not after some damage was done. 3 runs in and a 5-3 lead for the Peters Township Indians. The Panthers coming to the plate in the bottom of the 5th in a moment. So headed into the bottom of the 5th, there are some changes in the roster for the Peters Township Indians. And Chris, if you would, it starts with the guy on the mound.
Yes, right. Washek, who got hit in the last inning, is going to be replaced by Ryan Black. He's a tall, hard-throwing righty. Adam Becker is going to be replaced by Ryan Tassone. And, or I should say, Tassone's moving over to shortstop, and Tyler Schmidt is moved into the third base spot.
All righty, so there you go. Those are the changes defensively right now for the Indians, as they managed to score 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and left a man on base in that top of the 5th inning to retake the lead 5-3. Now it's up to the Panthers to get the bats going, and it's up to number 4, left fielder Anthony Pizzone, to start things off. First pitch from Ryan Black is inside. Misses ball 1. Anthony Pizzone with a strikeout in the first and a walk in the second, and he was then stranded. This is his 3rd plate appearance today. Right over the top. Ryan Black gets a low strike.
Using his height, coming right down over the top of his head, bringing it right down the strike zone.
This is bottom 5, because we're the home team. Home team always.
Here's the 1-1. Anthony Pizzone, proving why he should have been moved up in the order. Boy, he just continues to put great contact on just about everything.
I'll tell you what, he is really seeing the ball well. I mean, Ryan Black is throwing some heat, and it's almost as if Pizzone can slow the ball down and crack it.
All right, now that puts a little pressure on Ryan Black, the pitcher, because he has a base runner behind him. He's got to go to the stretch. And Gannon Rooney is at the plate, and he is dangerous with the bat. He gets underneath this one, however, and skies it to left field. Zafiro is back. He has it easily, and Anthony Pizzone will have to return to first base. 1 away. And we'll see what Joe Repishak is going to do, the first baseman for the Upper St. Clair Panthers. Single in the first. That chopping infield single that he managed to get down to first base on, and a fly out to left field in the 3rd inning. Runner at first, Panthers down by 2. Ryan Black.
Oh, boy.
Ground ball right to short. That's 1. Quickly over to first. No double play out of that. Good hustle. Good hustle. Ryan Tassone with a clean field at shortstop over to Pisarcik, and fast running by Joe Repishak to keep his hopes alive as Anthony Pizzone is wiped out on the fielder's choice. And that'll, of course, bring up Eric Krolzik. Looking at a ball that's high there.
You guys know it's not.
What do you say, Krolzy?
You guys know it's bottom 5 right now.
Eric the K. He had a K in the first inning and then grounded out in the 3rd. He looks at this pitch. That's a called strike.
little bit different look from Black. He kind of comes over the top as opposed to Wachek, who came almost as like from like the side or a diagonal pitch.
And he really is it over the top. He's a 12-6 guy, starting at 12 o'clock and coming right down to 6 o'clock. A little hard to see the ball sometimes, a little disconcerting coming out of the arm angle of that high overhead pitcher. 2-1 pitch now. This one's going to come right down in. It looks like the ball's going to be high a lot.
Absolutely.
That's why batters lay off.
I'll tell you, the other thing that shows that he's a good pitcher is he throws it from the same angle, whether it's a curveball, fastball, so you don't know what's really coming at you.
Repeshak with a reasonable lead off first. Chopper now. This is over to DeSone at short. Fires over to first, and they are quickly out of the inning. It wasn't 1-2-3, but it was fast enough for Peters Township. They get back to the top of the sixth, and they will come to the plate one more time, looking to hang on to their lead, 5-3. So here we go into the top of the sixth inning, and there are some changes for the Upper St. Clair Panthers. Dan?
Yes, we have. We have Joe Conlon, who's come into the game at third base. Gannon Rooney has moved over to short. Joe Klein over at second. And Eric Krelzik moved from shortstop to hitting the mound.
All right, Eric Krelzik will have a right-handed look now for the Upper St. Clair Panthers. A little something different now for Peters Township, as number 4, Ryan Tassone, who was moved to short last inning, starts off the inning for Peters Township, and he looks at a strike, 0-1. Eric Krolzik throws a lot of stuff right down in the zone. Fouls that one away. A little strategy going on by both managers with some changes. Some of it forced on Joe Mays. Krolzik misses high as Chris Wachek was hit in the helmet. The good news is he never left his feet. Certainly it was disturbing to watch any young man get hit in the head like that. But he walked under his own power over to the dugout. We trust that he is okay, and he's certainly being attended to right away.
And what a game. It says a lot about him. He's definitely a battler. And the fact that Coach Mays had him in the fourth spot hitting says a lot about the type of athlete he is.
Pop up to the infield. Joel Klein just moving over to second base. Has it easily for out number 1. And that'll bring up the first baseman, R.J. Pfeffer.
Now batting, R.J. Pepper.
Wait, so
He was one of the strikeout victims of Tim Leckenby earlier on, as Tim struck out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 batters in his outing. And then he managed to get on in the fourth inning with a fielder's choice and was the caught-stealing victim of a great throw by Ian Frazier in that inning. All right, Eric Krolzik missing high with that one. Pfeffer stepping back in, and again, one away here in the sixth. Nice pitch by Eric. You know, I think there's the other thing for Jerry Malarkey for the Panthers is that he has a number of guys who can play a number of positions and throw the ball. That's an excuse-me swing. Krolzik quickly over with it, and deft footwork by Joe Repeshak to get that ball. That throw was a little offline. Joe made a nice move.
He did a nice two-step right there.
Did he take ballet earlier when he was younger? Or?
I tell you what, that was a really nice play by Krelzik. He has a short stop. He fielded the ball well, and he had to make a quick, fast kind of slingshot throw, and Joe was able to do the two-step.
He was. Sometimes a hard throw like that gets away from you because you know that runner on that swing, the ball didn't get out quickly to the pitching position. He had to hustle to make that throw. That's what made it tail away, and Joe Repeshak made a very nice play at first base. There's a pitch low and in. And he's quickly ahead of number 13, Phil Zafiro, with an 0-2 count. Eric Krolzik on the mound. Oh my, that ball is hit hard. Ben Haas going back. That ball is off the screen. Zafiro's rounding second. Can he make it to third? No, he's going to be held up there. The throw is offline. That will give him a chance at third base, and Zafiro will go to third on the throw as he smashed that ball to the screen, Dan.
I tell you what, it was a rocket. Went off the top. I thought it was a home run. It was pretty doggone close to a home run. It did come off the fence, and Ben fielded the ball, and I was unsure exactly where he was throwing it. It ended up in left field, so it was just an errant throw. But it is what it is, and let's keep battling here.
Well, you can't take anything away from Phil Zafiro on that ball. Man, he smacked that, and I'm with you. That was way up. All right, now we have some time. It looked like some discussion going on between the home plate umpire, Will Corso, and the batter, Brett McIntosh. Don't know how and why. He pulled out his lineup, and maybe with the changes, this would be a credit to Will Corso, the umpire. Maybe he just wanted to make sure with all these lineup shuffles that the right batter was up at the right time and there was no batting out of order or something like that. And according to our numbers and stats up here, that is not the case. McIntosh looking at a ball. Here's the second offering. He fouls that up and away.
I'll tell you, Will Corso is calling a really good game. A sign of a really good umpire is when nobody's screaming, kill the ump. And that means he's very consistent. He's calling the right strikes and calling the right balls.
And he is calling, as you noted earlier, a wide strike zone. But he's calling it with consistency both ways, I believe. That one misses. And it is 2-1 to Brett McIntosh. A pair of runs in the first inning. And looking at a ball there that just misses. A pair of runs in the first inning for the Peters Township Indians, and then 3 in the fifth had them regain the lead. And that's where it stands right now with Phil Zafiro at third base. Swung on and a missed, strike 2. Nice pitch by Eric Krolzik. Looked like a changeup.
He just beat the batter on that one.
Well, he'll be around the zone. Ground ball, up with it is Gannon Rooney. Quickly over to first, and they're
Nice
out of the
flip.
inning without any serious damage other than the big hit from Zafiro. He's left stranded, and it is 5-3 headed into bottom of the sixth inning. So Ian Frazier will lead things off here in the bottom of the sixth inning, and if you need somebody to help you get started and cranking, Dan, it would be this guy. A single and a double and scored a run already today. Pretty productive day so at the plate for Ian Frazier.
It doesn't shock me with this guy, a true performer, senior leader, captain.
Ryan Black, the right-hander on the mound. Right over the top, right down the pipe for strike number 1. Little sunshine coming out now. Peeking over our left shoulders. Of course, the bad news for that would be, look at our second pitch here, and that one curves in for strike 2. The bad news for that sun angle late in the afternoon here is that can come right into the eyes of the first baseman, the second baseman, and the right fielder. This field was as nice as it is. There's a ball that just misses. They want to see on the appeal if he swung, and the first base umpire, Chris McSwiggan, says no. As nice as this facility is, the field's laid out a little goofy in that fashion. And if you look now at this delivery, Frazier's going to chop it right back to Black. He throws over to Pfeiffer, and there's quickly one away. Ben Haas will be walking up to the plate.
Your wish is my command.
Little underhanded toss by Black to get out Ian Frazier. Jerry Malarkey getting everybody to get going here. Give him a little let's go, attaboy. Right fielder Ben Haas now trying to do something at the plate. Up over the pitcher's outstretched glove, over to short. Tassone cannot get to it. Ben Haas gets on with a base hit.
And we have one aboard.
One aboard and a hit for Ben Haas. Eight hits for the day for the Panthers. 3 runs to show for it, maybe more now. Chaz Mertz, the designated hitter, is at the plate. Haas has the potential to steal. Mertz follows it away. It's funny as a right-handed batter, You don't see Chaz hit many foul balls down the left field line.
No, he doesn't.
He seems to get inside out with his hands and go down the other way a lot.
I am.
Straightaway batting stance. He looks at Black's offering. That one is right in the pike, and it is quickly 0-2.
Tell you what, Mertz has a definite. He steps into the pitch. He's got a big. He takes a big full step right towards the pitcher when he's swinging, and it gives for a good sweeping swing to the center field.
Nice lead for Ben Haas. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Off the plate, DeCello drops it quickly again, keeping it neatly in front of him as he's done all day. Brett DeCello keeps that runner from advancing. And the count goes to 1-2.
Connor, we have 15 minutes before we have to go.
Ryan Black stretching, checking the runner, coming to the plate. Swung on and a miss, tipped ever so slightly. Chaz Mertz goes down with a strikeout, and Ben Haas remains at first base.
And Keith, he wanted that pitch back. I'll tell you, he was feeling it. He thought he could drive this guy, and he caught him with a high fastball.
All right, it's up to Adam Kraske now to see if he can't get a little more action out of this inning for the Panthers batting order and move maybe Ben Haas down the baseline. Black's offering to him outside for a ball. Adam has chopped back to the pitcher in the second inning and struck out in the fourth inning here. And that chop back to the pitcher again, he nearly scored. There's a ball in the air. That's over towards right field. That'll be Matt Lothar coming in, and he makes an easy catch on that one. So for the St. Clair Panthers, they do get the hit from Ben Haas, but they get nothing after that. And they come out of the inning with no runs, a hit, no errors, and one left. And we're headed to the top of the seventh. Don't go anywhere. So top of the seventh now on our telecast here with the Upper St. Clair Panthers hosting Peters Township. We'll have more of these games, Dan.
Absolutely. On Saturday, April 20th, we're going to be playing South Fayette. It's a home game at 1:30. And on Monday, April 22nd, Shire Valley at 4 o'clock.
And we look forward to seeing you watching us. All right, here's a pinch hitter. This is Mitch Bianco coming in, number 25. And he is pinch hitting for Brett DeCello. And he looks at a first strike offering. Eric Krolzik still working on the mound for Upper St. Clair. And the Panthers really want to try and get quickly out of this contest if they can, this half inning quickly. Then they need to get to the top of their order and get their bats going if they hope to have a chance at trying to make this an even better ball game for them. Bianco again at bat in for DeCello. He looks at that ball go inside. And it is 1-2. On deck, Phil Pisarcik. Wow, what a nice pitch. What a very nice pitch from Eric Krolzik as he gets Mitch Bianco swinging for a strikeout.
That was a great series of pitches. Battled against a really good hitter and came up on the winning end of that one.
7 strikeouts on the day for Panther pitchers. 6 of them from Tim Leckenby. Here's a pop-up out of play from Phil Pisarcik. He's had a nice game at second base, too. Good glove hand and a decent day at the plate. Walk, a base hit, a pair of walks, I should say. A base hit, pair of stolen bases, and he scored twice. He's almost a one-man baseball team with those kind of statistics, Dan. Quickly 0-2, Eric Krolzik now. There's a ball. Looks like it might go to the gap. Could be trouble. Adam Kraske, what a catch. Adam Kraske with a web gem.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what. He practically ended up in right field. He made a beat on the catch, and he beat Haas to the ball. Unbelievable.
What a great hustling play by Adam Kraske, flashing his speed and making the diving catch to save what would have been at least a base hit. Maybe a little more, you don't know. Wow. Matt Lothar, the batter, now following that one. Got a nice hand from
It
all
was-
the baseball fans here for that catch Kraske made.
I'll tell you what, that was a shot to right center. It almost looked like Haas was kind of surrendering it for like a regular single.
Well,
And Kraske would have nothing of that. He
yeah,
dived
no,
right in there and took
he
it.
was really hustling. Headed towards the flagpole and cut it off at the pass. All right, it's a quick 1-2 count now. Eric Krolzik doing a nice job working quickly on the mound, keeping the ball in the zone. There's another example of that, and he fans Matt Lothar. So, you wanted to get out of the top of the 7th quickly? You did so, thanks to Eric Krolzik and a terrific catch from Adam Kraske. That brings up the bottom of the 7th, and the Panthers find themselves down 5-3. Let's see what happens next. Bottom of the 7th inning here at Boyce Mayview Field. Keith James along with Dan Repachak here, happy to bring you this contest. Boy, it's been another good baseball day, Dan, and another good game that we look at on the scoreboard. Panther fans are hoping that they can do it this inning as they're down 5-3. Top of the order going for us. That's got to be a plus.
I have top of the order. I got a really good feeling about this.
Well, Joel Klein with 2 hits today is a good candidate to start things off. He's 2 for 3 today. His other plate appearance was a pop-up to the third baseman. He looks at an opening ball there, and that is, again, still Ryan Black on the mound for Peters Township. You know, in their last game, it was a Donnybrook for the Panthers. The last game they played back on the 10th was Cannon McMillan. It was a 12-11 loss. Just gobs of hits and runs and craziness, I am told. Nice hit deep in the hole. Tassone up with it. Klein hustling, but the long throw gets him. There is one away. That was a good hit and a good play at shortstop.
Yeah, Tassone on a backhander. He played the ball. I tell you what, great pickup. Came up throwing. No stutter step. It was all arm, and just got Joel Klein just in a nick of time.
Anthony Pizzone, his last at bat in the 5th inning. He had himself a nice single. He looks at a pitch now from Black that's out and away, ball 1. Anthony Pizzone started the game in the 1st with a strikeout, walked in the 2nd and went nowhere, and then had his single in the 5th. This one is hit over towards right field. Will it fall? No. Matt Lothar is there. And that ball, even though it was curling a little bit, was in the eyesight of Matt Lothar. And there's quickly 2 down here with Gannon Rooney coming up to the plate, and Joe Repachak on deck. Gannon Rooney today is 0 for 3. Couple of flyouts and a ground out to shortstop. And he looks at a Ryan Black pitch that comes up and inside for ball 1. Again, the next game, look at another pitch here that's outside ball 2. The next game for the St. Clair Panthers, they will host on the 18th, Lebanon, not Mount Lebanon, Lebanon from Ohio. That's a 4:15 game here. It'll be pretty interesting. Here's Ryan Black now with a 2-0 pitch. And it looks like he missed on that one. Nope, they're going to call that a strike. Low and away. 2-1, Dan. Gannon Rooney looking for something he likes. Up and underneath that one. Back to the screen. DeCello starts to give chase, but no. You look at this infield right now. Again, you see their shortstop, which is right now Tassone, and Pisarcik at second base. Both play particularly deep here for the hard-hitting Gannon Rooney. Here's Black's pitch that misses high, and we'll run to a full count here. So does the game continue now, or is this it? 3-2 the count, 2 out. Bottom of the 7th. Black delivers. He's going to miss, and the game continues. Nice walk by Gannon Rooney.
I tell you what, he did miss by inches. That could have gone either way, Keith.
It is a game of inches, isn't it?
It is.
All right, now it's a game of strategy. Gannon Rooney here. You're down to your last out, but you've got a player who's totally capable of stealing. However, you're down by 2 runs. If you can get him to scoring position, you got to believe Repeshak can drive him home. However, Joe chops the ball to third. Up and over to first, and with one swing of the bat, the ball game is all over. And in the books, sports fans, the Peters Township Indians come in and play a very nice game. They get good pitching behind Chris Watschak and also Ryan Black in relief, and they managed to come from behind to win 5-3. Dan, once again, good rivalry, good ball game.
Good rivalry. Coach Joe Mays prepared his team for this game. This is going to be a tough one. Everybody knew it. It was a real battle of pitching for the for most of the game, and I'll tell you what, Peters had that breakout inning, got ahead, and the rest is history.
The rest is indeed history. Speaking of history, again, Dan, if you tell folks about not only the fact that this game will be broadcast, but we have some other games we're going to work on.
That's right. On this coming Saturday, April 20th, we're playing South Fayette. Monday, April 22nd, we're playing Char Valley. Then Friday, April 26th, we're playing Cannon Mac. On Friday, May 3rd, Mount Lebanon. And Saturday, May 4th, Hempfield.
Which one of those games do you think will be toughest?
Just throw a dart at it. They're all going to be good. This is a really good conference this year, and it's going to be some great baseball.
Well, we will find out, and we hope that you stick with us here as we again, look to bring many more of these games to you, thanks to a lot of folks' fine efforts. So hopefully the results for the Panthers will be a little bit better. Today, a 5-3 win for the Indians. 5 runs on 7 hits, 1 error, and 3 men left for the Upper St. Clair Panthers. 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error, and 7 men stranded on the base paths. Our congratulations to Peters Township. Our thanks to Paul Conlon, Glenn Ward, and all the other young men who helped make this telecast possible. Dan Repeshak, thanks to you too. Looking forward to our Saturday contest where we look on the 18th, the 20th, the South Fayette team coming in.
South Fayette, they're a fiery bunch led by the fiery head coach of Coach Barton. You'll definitely be hearing from him from the dugout, from the third base side. Very, very good coach, and their team is really good.
All right, we'll look forward to that. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Hope you've enjoyed this telecast. Again, more of them coming your way. This game will be rebroadcast a number of times on Comcast Channel 7 or Verizon Channel 42. Once again, the final here from Boyce Mayview Field. It is the Peters Township Indians 5, St. Clair Panthers 3. Thanks, everyone. See you soon.